Chunky, 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 chunky. Hey! Well, this is the 10th installment of the Prospect Perspectives, and in this one we're doing James Chunky DeGale. Now he's a super middleweight, 24 years old. He's 7-5, or he's 7 wins, no losses, with 5 knockouts for a 71% knockout ratio. Now I know what you're saying. Bigragu, hey, why are you talking about a guy that's only had 7 fights? Well, I'll tell you what. First, he was the ABA middleweight champion in the amateurs in 2005 and 2006. And he's the 2008 Olympic gold medalist in the middleweight division for the United Kingdom. So, when I bring these up, this is why I'm doing it. Now, normally I don't do one on a Olympic champion because the ceiling for an Olympic champion is so high anyway that it's if you don't win a championship, you're considered a bust, honestly. If you're the best in the world in the amateurs, that should translate a little bit into the pros. A little bit. Now, obviously, with all that experience, the amateur experience, it has done very well for him in the pros. He's coming in with experience that you just can't get normally walking off the street. Now, I'm not saying that to discredit anybody that didn't fight amateur that chooses to fight pro. If you have the ability, you can do it. Doesn't matter if you're 18, 20, 22. If you have the ability, you can do any of the sports out there anyway, if you have the ability. So, looking at his opponent's records, you see that 5 of the 7 have winning records, and heck, his last fight, he won the WBA International Middleweight or Super Middleweight title. And in that, it was against Sam Horton, who was 15-1 at the time. And he won by a 5th round knockout. So you're like, hey, well, the guy's already won 12. He's only had 7 fights. Let me get to the stuff, man. Okay, you look at his opponents, and you see 67 wins, 38 losses, 2 draws for 107 fights, 63% winning percentage, 39% at the with the losing, and then the 1% I think it was, or something. I don't know. Something like that fit in there. Do the math. It doesn't add up, does it? 35%. And then yeah, there we go. I'm backwards. So, and you look at that, and you're like, okay, so he has at least fought some decent opponents. Well, he's a southpaw, so let's start breaking him down. Number one, the first thing you're going to see is that as a southpaw, he holds the left up here, but that right is way too low, which is going to leave him open for any shots that come over the top, especially left hands and stuff like that, like Matthew Barr. Is it Barr? I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah, like Barr landed on him in his fight with him. He landed a lot of shots. Now, he didn't have a lot of power, so it didn't hurt DeGale that much. The second thing you'll notice, aside from the fact that he drops here, is that he does something that is very amateurish, and he goofs off a little too much in the ring. And if he doesn't cure this, it will be his undoing. I knew a great fighter, Michael Clark, who I sparred with growing up in the amateurs and everything, and you guys can Google him. And he had all the talent in the world. He had James DeGale talent. I am not lying about this. He was WBO lightweight champion. So he had the talent, but the one thing he did is he goofed off too much in the ring. Too much flashy, too much showboat, not enough sustenance. And what I mean by that, you'll see him in the ring, and he's fighting the dude, right? He's popping, and he's got a solid jab, and I like his jab, and he's fast with it, and he throws it with a lot of power. But then all of a sudden, he does this crap. Okay? Number one, that's illegal, because you're going below the waist. It is an illegal move. I don't know why the refs haven't corrected this. And if you're down here, and dude decides to straight train a friggin' shot in your eye, you're in deep, man. You cannot defend yourself from that position. Check out his fights. He's done it in almost every single fight I've seen him do it. Do not like it. Completely against it. If he ever watches this video, stop. Okay? Now, as I said, with the jabs, he's got great power. He has great power in anything that he does. Whether it's straight training the jab out, lead left hand sneaking in, he hooks to the body with both hands. He can double hook. back and forth. You'll watch him. He switches as he does this, which is very, very dangerous for his opponent, not for him. He comes in, and he's fighting, and he comes in the southpaw, and he's here, and he hits him, doubles up with that hook, steps over, and just uncorks him. And it's a free-flowing motion. It doesn't stop. And he can switch. He has very good switching capabilities. And it doesn't seem like he loses anything when he switches over to orthodox. You'll see a lot of times once they switch over, that left is great. It's solid. Everything that they throw is solid. But the right hand is lacking. Not with him. He can hit you to the body or to the head with the right hand without a problem. And he does it with the left too. And you'll see him throw hard shots to the body, which is great. His D is lacking. He gets hit with too many flush shots. In his last 2 fights, his opponents combined for 29 wins and 7 losses. 6 losses at the time. So you have, or it was 29 wins, 7 losses for 36 total fights. They only had 8 knockouts. Okay? So don't read into it too much. This guy hasn't fought anybody big yet, and he gets hit flush with a lot of shots. The talent is there. It's there. He has great power in either hand. He's a cumulative puncher. He's not really going to straight train you out with the one shot, but his punches build up. And then eventually he'll land one of those massive uppercuts that he just blasts you out of the park with, because they're vicious. He does decent on the ropes, and he does good inside. Like I said, he gets inside, and the second he gets inside, it feels like he touches, and them uppercuts just come in. He just starts straight training uppercuts, and then the hooks, double hooks. He throws them with either hand, and like I said, when he switches, very, very deadly. Let's see, am I forgetting anything? He's got good footwork. He can cut off the ring. He has nice combinations. He's very good at timing, and he's very accurate with his punches. I'm not taking anything away from him. He can get a little wild, but he's only had 7 professional fights. The amateur game is completely different than the pros. So I want to get that out there too. You can smoke and you can absolutely blow people out of the water in the amateurs because the talent level's a little different. But then when you get in the pros, the guy might not have any amateur experience at all, but all he's done is sparred world champions. So, you know, he's got the experience. Let's see. Said he doubles up his hooks. We talked about all that. I talked about him switching up. And I don't want to see him right now. He needs to stay away from the big super middleweights. That's anybody in the top, in the Super 6. Avoid Butte like the plague. You know, a lot of those guys he cannot get in the ring with yet because he gets hit too flush. And he has to tighten up his defense a little bit if he is going to succeed in getting like the WBA title, the WBC, the WBO. He has to tighten up that defense. This is great against guys that don't come at you and hit you hard, because he does get hit flush. He does get hit flush. He's got a good beard on him, but I say that, but at the same time, his last 2 opponents' knockouts combined were less than Paulie Malignaggi's. So, now you feeling me? But the sky's the limit for the kid. He's just got a couple things to tweak, to tighten up, get the hand up a little more, or if you're going to sit there, he can set it here. He can have the hand over more, but he has it more to the side, and that's all open for the shot. They just come in, they just rain in. So, tightens that up. He's going to be good. He's only had 7 fights, as I said. The world's his oyster. That's about it. He needs to tighten his defense up. Okay? If you like these, rate, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Alright, this is Bigragu. I'm out. Keep punching.